So, what are the most significant issues that you plan to address in Pleasanton while you're in office?
Thank you for the question. So, there's a lot of issues that affect different people in our community, from traffic to others. But I've kind of boiled mine down to about three for people to know. And they begin with the budget, so that we have a balanced city budget and can provide services. Water is definitely critical. We've got to provide clean, safe, and affordable water for our residents. And then my third is a kind of a group, if you will, but it's the economy.
So one issue that many Pleasant residents are concerned about, this doesn't involve the budget. So we went from a surplus to a deficit. And I know you're a CPA, so what do you think the best way is to address it, or how do you plan to address it?
Yeah, the budget is in process, right? So the last actual year-end results that we had approximately a $10 million surplus. And that was achieved through a lot of different things that the city did. It stopped spending for new trucks. It really reduced a lot of our, I don't want to call it benefits, but a lot of the things we were going to do, training or travel. Yeah. And so we formed a budget advisory committee that is advising us how to proceed forward, right, from a citizen's point of view. And then the council decided in early January that what we would like is a peer review of the numbers, if you will, an outside review to give us an idea if we are going to have the deficit or the forecast as it notably significant as it's showing. One of the elements at play is a lot of variables really do affect the budget. For example, property tax. Or property tax is going to continue to increase or not. Well, that kind of goes to the economy. If the economy keeps going, we have people that want to continue to move in town, buy homes, and then we have the older population downsizing, and therefore a newer, younger family buys some of their larger homes. We start to continue to generate the property taxes for our city. But if our economy declines and the property taxes don't do that, that'd be a big factor. And that's one of our bigger variables, as well as sales tax. Now, sales tax, we all know, is the mall. Is typically our big sales tax number. So we want to try to figure out how to design the mall to get it to reinvest. There's 4 property owners there. They're all working to see some new investment dollars, how to bring bodies there, patrons there, and to shop there. But also one of my ideas is, and we're working on, is not just the mall area, but the downtown. How do we keep it going there? And how does Pleasanton make it so that we're really providing as a facilitator for businesses that may want to locate in the Tri-Valley, facilitate them to come to Pleasanton? And so we're really looking at a lot of those things going forward. Further with the budget, I think we always need to be prudent with taxpayer money, right? So there might be some trimming in certain areas to do that. The Budget Advisory Committee is going to advise us where they think those savings could be. There's been talk of possibly a fire station or some other things, but those are pretty significant impacts to the community. So I think we really got to see about how we minimize them.
What cuts will the city impose upon its own employees? I know you touched on this a little bit, but anything else you want to add?
Well, so it's a uniform group, right? It's a bucket or basket of goods that we're going to have to see. So I think that one of the reasons I wasn't able to support the sales tax is we really hadn't done the work to see where the city could cut, in my opinion, right? Only mine, because I was the only vote to not necessarily ask the voters for the sales tax at the time. But we didn't go look at where we could constrain costs. So for example, we have a savings account or a reserve account. It's earning interest. That interest is approximately locked in at 1% interest rates, and those investments are flipping over to a 4.8% interest. Well, that would generate, based on the amount of principal we have invested, maybe another $2 to $3 million in revenues, right? Another opportunity for us could be looking at, can we partner with the school district to stop doing both the same thing? Is there any synergies that can align? So we've been in conversation about, people have probably heard of maintenance yard before. I don't know if that will come around as a short-term solution, but the school district mows their lawns and the city mows their parks, right? And so is there some synergy we can do to reduce cost? The other element for cuts in the city is, we're looking at what departments do what, where we need to go. For example, I know it goes back to the residents, but credit card processing fees. If you pay your water bill with a credit card, you get the points, as presumably if you have a credit card paying points. But that was costing the city approximately $400,000 to $500,000 a year, where not all our residents partook of that, right?
So going back to the water here, so drought and water quality issues are an ongoing concern. Like, I think they're like, oh no, don't drink the water. But how do you plan to address these issues and concerns?
Yeah, so just for some background, the city historically used to pump approximately 20% of its own water from wells, and then 80%, the remaining 80% would come from Zone 7, which is part of the state water project, Shasta, Lake Oroville, and the snowpack, if you will. So where we're at now is the wells that we were pumping out of are contained PFAS chemicals, forever chemicals, and so they've been shut off in the city. And as a result, 100% of our water is now coming from Zone 7 and the state water project. People talk to me about, they have such better water in Danville or in Santa Clara County, but a lot of that water comes from the Hetch Hetchy water project. It's more of a private water project. Obviously, Hetch Hetchy is the big, beautiful lake up by the Sierras, untouched by humans. And we tried to look to see if that was an option, but it's not. And so when we have ebb and flow of snowfall and climate change is real, so we are seeing more constraints and challenges, we start to use our groundwater. And by the definition of where we live, our groundwater has a lot of minerals in it and a lot of other elements. And so the question becomes, how much more do you want to pay to have your water treated and refined after it meets all of the guidelines for safe drinking water? And that would improve quality and taste, right? But you would be paying significantly more. And so I think there's this conversation and balance going on. In addition to, is there a way to look at additional groundwater that's not contaminated, to try to not be 100% reliant on the state water project? And so residents may know there's 3 test wells being drilled, Del Prado Park, Tennis Park, and Hanson Park. And those 3 locations will let us see if the water is clean and if it's able to be used. There's some concern that it may wick the contamination towards the new wells, but Zone 7 is really the agency that we're going to be relying on. Their water experts. They're in charge of the groundwater basin. We're going to be relying on their experts in analysis to help guide us if that's a viable solution. So we're in partnership with them to see if this works.
So this is completely shifting gears here, but the new presidential administration is taking steps to remove DEI initiatives on the federal level. So do you plan to take similar steps in Pleasanton?
No. No.
Okay.
And maybe I'll go a little further. The concept of DEI to me is that we appreciate and can hear each other's story, right? We all come from a different background and we all come with a different perspective of our lives. It's important to hopefully have humanity and compassion guide us, right? So I would love to consider hiring you based upon a variety of factors, but state of California really has led us down what we have as our path, and the concept that I want to hopefully am trying to advance is human compassion. And so to me, bring your full beauty forward and let's appreciate it. So
okay, last question. So many students would like to get involved and or learn about politics. So does your office plan to create opportunities for students to learn about politics on a local level?
Yeah, this is a great question. I've actually been really trying to struggle with this because maybe the beauty of really trying to champion transparency and open government is I put forward, I call it the open door, open idea policy, right? Just give us your ideas and let's work together to kind of get going. Well, A lot of people emailed and want to get involved.
Okay, good.
But I'm overwhelmed. So, Dublin has both a youth commission and then they've got the mayor's council is what they call it. And Pleasanton has a youth commission, and then we have it where a youth representative can sit on some of our other commissions and committees. And so we've been evaluating how to broaden that, specifically for the youth, I'll say. I have evaluated if I'll try to do a mayor's council or not. But that being said, I'll just say this is actually one of the things I was working on is how do we amplify the opportunities available? The city is opening up our committee and commission application process. It will go through March 10th. And so people can apply for various levels and for ages. And so that will be one main opportunity. The other one we just recently had was Make a Difference, the Make a Difference Festival. There's plenty of opportunities if you go to the Make a Difference website to see where you can help out in your community, right? And then I'll just say there's two others. The Tri-Valley Nonprofit Alliance is kind of like a collector or gathering house of our nonprofits in the area. Open Heart Kitchen, Access Community Health, City Serve for senior support, Spectrum, which delivers meals. So there's lots of opportunities. So when I've gotten the probably nearly 100 emails about how to get involved in your local city government, I've been trying to encourage people that there's opportunities outside of it. That also being said, you can always show up to a city meeting and you can always use your opportunity, your voice to let us know and get involved. You can attend any city meeting and you're allowed to voice your thoughts on what the city should be doing to better. You can always email me. I am trying to find more opportunities for people to engage. So I think we've got this real impetus at the local level to get involved. So we're working on it.
Great.
Ideas are welcome on how to manage it. I almost need an admin to help me just manage the workload.
Goodness. Okay, perfect. Those are all the questions I have for you, but thank you so much.
Thank you.